do need you. I love you, love you. I do need you. Ooh, I love you, I do need you.
I'm cold, still stainless. Good evening and welcome back to your favorite episodic podcast, FDL Central. It's so exciting to be back here right now. I am super pumped. But as most of you know me, I am KJ and I will be your guide to all of the action here in FDL. However, today's episode is going to be a little bit different. No regular season games have taken place just yet. So, what we're going to do is we're going to be talking about some of the things to come in season 5. But as all of you know, I can't do this show alone. So please help me welcome in one of my guests today. And we're going to start with the one and only Siprock. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm ready to be here.
Well, we are super excited to have you. But also joining us on the desk is the one and only Tubby Boy back again for another season of FDL. How are things going for you, my sir?
They're doing great now right now. KJ, excited to be back. Excited for season 5 to come along.
Well, we are super excited to have both of you here joining me on the desk. But first things first, I kind of want to go through a little bit about you guys. Siprock, this is your first season here in FDL. And also, your first season, you were named GM for the Griffins. So, how excited are you to be here, and what are you looking forward to in season 5?
I'm actually very excited. Taking up the GM spot was big. I was good friends with Ant as soon as I came in. He welcomed me in, and he just happened to be leaving the spot, so I was happy to take it. Um, I'm really excited to see how my teams do this season because this season was kind of just a guess and check. I'm not used to this league, and not used to the people in it. So hopefully, I got blessed with some good captains who can take this season and have fun with it and take it far.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got a good person there, an Ant. I know sometimes Ant and I don't always see eye to eye, but he is good people. I will definitely agree with you on that one. But moving forward with Tubby Boy, you've been here since season 2, where you went to the championship game with the team that you are on now, the Huskies. Um, that time you were with KP and Mopul. Season 3 was a little rough for you. I think you and I both can agree with that one. Um, you,
Absolutely.
you took a break for season 4. You didn't play at all. You weren't even a part of the league, and now you're back with us for season 5. How excited are you to be playing on the same team that went to the championship in season 2?
Hey, back in the day, we had to sag dogs running packs, and I'm back again. All right, I'm here to be the leader. We got some good squads coming out as always. We're looking great in Elite League, Expert League. We got to pick that up a little bit. Miller Ball's really running behind there, but I feel really confident in our Adept team. I feel like we got a good squad. We like to grind, and we're ready to go. And then I think our Origin team's going to surprise some people. Unseen's been popping off playing in Adept League games, so I mean, I feel really good about at least 3 of our leagues, but I need Miller. Oh wait, I forgot we have a Star League team this season. Not 100% sure. Haven't really seen him play, but you know, us Cossies, we come to work. We have a really good time when we're playing together. So I'm really confident in all of our teams except for the one that Miller Ball has because he just isn't getting it done yet.
Throwing shade at Miller already. And actually, tell me, you have teams in every single league. Um,
Do we have a team? Yeah,
yep,
I guess we did. Yeah.
You have an Origin team, an Adept team, Expert Star, and Elite team. Um, especially
We're gonna
based
go
off of
5-0
last
this
season.
season. All right.
Well, we definitely look forward to seeing you guys playing out on the pitch. I know a couple of the Huskies players personally, and I'm super excited to see what you guys have to offer. But moving forward, since there have been no games, at least regular season games, there's been preseason games. A couple of them were on stream, but we do have a few things that we need to discuss anyway. One of the things that I want to discuss with you guys is that we have a lot of new players this season in all of the leagues, in all Origin, Adept, Expert Star, as well as Elite. So for you guys, who are you looking to see make the biggest impact for this season in particular?
Um, I'll go first on this one. So I didn't really know any higher ranking people. So my Star League and my Elite League, they're kind of, out there kind of guessing with it. Um, but for my AGM and my Origin League captain, um, I've heard good things from him already. They're already trashing the Origin teams. from what I hear. So I mean, good for me, not good for the league. Um, but I brought him in from a threes league, so I wasn't sure how he was going to necessarily take up the twos league. Um, but from what I hear, he brought in one of his buddies, and they're taking over. Um, they're taking that pretty well in the twos league, and that's Angel. Not a big name, but happy to have him here.
Definitely somebody to watch out for, and especially with those threes players, getting them into the twos league is definitely not an easy thing to do. But either way, it's super excited to see what he has to offer to everybody. Tubby, how about you?
One person I'm really looking at too, and of course I'm a Husky, so I'm going to go with a Husky. Is Aoka? I think is how you say it. He's the new elite Husky player who just joined this season, joining Lofty Lettuce, replacing Tater, and the unfortunate situation that happened around him. I'm really I want to see if the Huskies can still be dominant this season, or if it's going to take a season or two for maybe them to get back in tip-top shape. And then of course I got to shout out my boy Spirit. Literally picked him up without ever watching him play once. And I believe that he is maybe 1A or 1B in a depth league, and I'll put that up against anybody. So,
Well, definitely look forward to seeing what all of these teams have to offer. But first and foremost, we're going to start out in our lowest league, but certainly not the least, because Origin games are the most fun to watch. I don't care what anybody says. But for Origin League this season, we have only 6 teams, which is a lot lower number than what we've had in seasons past. So there wasn't really too much of an influx of people in Origin League. But for you guys, what I want to know, and Siprock, I'm going to let you take this one first. What is a team that you think is going to have a standout season?
Like I said, I can agree with Tubby on this one. I've seen Unseen play, and he's obviously with the Huskies Origin team. So it wouldn't surprise me if he comes up into a depth very very soon, because he's definitely a star player in Origin League. But I gotta maybe some biased here. I mean, I can't say no bias because it is my team, but I do believe that the Griffins are taking it all the way to the ship this season for Origin League.
I like the confidence. Tubby, what about you?
well, obviously he already took my answer because obviously Huskies, but I'm Team Huskies all the way. But I'm looking for teams that have veterans like the Seagulls. You know, I got Poppy War Turtle. He's a guy I know. He's really good at what he does. He's a high salary. Um, as well as the Monkeys. The Monkeys are always really good in Origin League. Chris knows how to draft Origin, but that's about all he knows how to draft.
Oh boy. I'm actually. Oh, go ahead.
But those are the 2 teams I really got an eye on, other than my Origin Huskies. So I mean, I think it's going to be really competitive. It's a small league, which means we're going to see teams play each other a lot, which means that there's more time for adjustments and more time for good stories to form in the Origin League, and I'm really excited to see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Those stories are definitely what really makes this league as popular as it has become. What the team that I'm actually kind of looking out for is the Eagles. I actually watched a couple of them play, scrimmed against a couple of them, and they look like a very solid squad. So I think they're going to be one to really watch out for. But one thing I do want to ask you guys is, besides, let's kind of get off. I know you guys have a little bit of bias whenever it comes to, teams, because you feel like you have to pick your team. I'm going to put you guys on the spot and say, who do you think is going to win it all?
If I cannot choose the Griffins, I'm going to say the Vipers. Mainly for the fact that Vipers is just one of them organizations who kind of stays in the dark until they definitely they shoot you out of the dark almost. It's just one of them sleeper teams that nobody ever sees coming, and I mean, they jump around the corner and surprise you.
Tubby, what about you?
I was gonna go for the Vipers, but I think I'll stick with the Monkeys for here. They've got a really they've got 2 higher salary players. They've got a low salary in 7 for Blade, but if they can coach up that low salary, as I know from being in Origin League a couple seasons ago myself, a low salary player who is really good makes all the difference. All you got to do is get into the playoffs, and anything can happen. And you just need that solid low salary player who, isn't a liability in those games to help you get into the playoffs.
Yeah, having a solid third definitely helps. And that is not in any way, shape, or form any sort of dig at somebody who may have a lower salary than everybody else. That lower salary man is usually the biggest difference maker, and it's what makes or breaks a team. So I will agree with that, but that's also saying that the Monkeys are going to go back to back.
Well, no, Dragons won last season, didn't they?
Uh,
I
maybe,
believe it was the Monkeys taking it all last season.
yeah,
Was it the Monkeys?
I think so. Yes,
Oh, okay.
I feel like I have to. I feel like I have to fact check
Because
myself
I
here.
didn't. Let me check that because I thought it was the Dragons. I thought it was what is his name? He's in the depth now.
Kimono.
Kimono. Yeah, I thought it was Kimono, and why can't I think of their names right now? I thought the Dragons won it last season. And Barnes.
Okay, yeah, okay, then yeah. But even still, the Monkeys did go to the championship game, taking out the favorite of the Seagulls. So I agree. It's definitely going to be an interesting season. I think the Monkeys have a really good shot, but I think they really have a lot of sleeper teams that they're going to have to really pay attention to and look out for.
Absolutely. Especially with that, with the way that we have our league set up, where the salaries are so tight. I mean, to me, I feel like every league is everybody's game.
Well, that being said, for Origin League, we're going to slowly transition into a Depth League, which had a massive influx of players. A lot of them are returning for this season. They ranked out of Origin from last season. There's 16 teams in a Depth this season. For you guys, seeing that both of you are in the Adept League, on paper, who looks the scariest? And I'm going to start this one with Tubby.
Obviously, I've got to go with the defending, I believe, runner-ups in the Vipers, with Rico and Sticks coming back again. You always got to watch out for them. They're a very solid team. They've been playing together for a very long time, and they're always someone you got to watch out for. If they make it to the playoffs, they're dangerous.
Siprock, who do you think is the scariest team that is in that little in those two conferences?
I'm not gonna say there's any one scary teams, but there are two teams that kind of do worry me a little bit this season. And we've played both of them. That's why it scares me. We've played the Rams this season with Guerra as their captain. I don't know where he drafted his players from, but that team is not looking friendly right now. And then who's the other team? The other team is can't think of it now. Believe it's the Oh Lord, the
You
Colts.
got it.
There we go. The
There
Colts.
you
There
go.
is the Colts. They have a very, very solid captain with Crusher. He's actually one of the top players in Adept right now. And the reason they scare me is because he is insane in ones and his dribbling skills are terrifying.
I like those. I like the analysis. That's actually a very true statement. Crusher is very good at those ones plays, but when it comes to twos, it takes two to win a game. But either way, for me, from what I've seen at least, two teams that are definitely ones to watch out for. Actually, three teams are going to end up being the Huskies with Spirit, Tubby, and Grandpa RL. Um, the Eagles look like a very solid squad in their stream match, so they are not a team to trifle with too much. And the Seagulls, who are playing together every single day. So those are the three teams that I think are going to have to really, look really the scariest out of all of them. But then again, Adept League can literally go any direction. Especially we saw that last season with the Griffins starting out the season 6-0 in league play. But that being said, for both of you, it doesn't matter which one of you takes this one first. Who do you believe the player that all teams need to watch out for is?
I'm sticking with Crusher on that one. Crusher, he's just if he can find himself a good twos partner, I feel like he might be able to take the Adept League with a crazy storm this season.
Tubby, what about you?
Alrighty, well, I'm a little biased here, but he's the only other 12.9 in the league right now, so I'm gonna go with Spirit. I think that I found a gem that nobody else wanted and that nobody else knew about. I think he's gonna take this league by storm. I'm gonna say it. I think he's not gonna lose a series this season. Putting it out there.
That is a very, very, very bold prediction there. And if it happens, it happens. I'd love to see it because I don't know if we've had a top salary player go have a perfect season, especially with Adept since its inception. But for me, as much as sometimes you want to pick the high salary player, but at other times, sometimes not. I actually think that J Mans is going to be one to watch out for. He's an 11-3 and he plays for the Monkeys. Very solid player. Looks very, very good. Has done a lot of work in the offseason as well as the amount of work that he did last season. So definitely make sure to watch out for him. Moving on from Adept, though, we're going to move it to Expert, which is a little bit of a cluster right now, to say the least. But 12 teams make up the Expert League this season. Definitely some familiar faces for those of us that have been in the league for a while. But there is some new blood to watch out for. Hubby, this one I'm going to ask from you, but who presents the strongest team for Expert this season?
Strongest team for Expert. That's a good question right there. Well, I'm a big fan of the Seagulls right now. I played with Reaper and Atlas, and they're actually cousins, so they have a lot of chemistry going on together. Let me see. I would like to say the Colts, but they only have one player. Harmonic, get your stuff together. Also, Miller, you only have two players. Get your stuff together. But always, as always, the Monkeys are always tough because they always have. I mean, they bring back the same players every season. You can't get more camaraderie than the same players every season. You got Frank and you got Jake Whittle.
I like it. Jaquito actually, I believe if my factuals are telling me correctly, Jaquito was not here last season, but he was here the season before, and was just as solid of a player then as he is now. So it'll be definitely interesting to see. I do like that. The Monkeys definitely are a strong team. Siprock, what do you think? Give me some of your thoughts on this one.
For Expert League, I'm not really sure on Expert League at the time right now, but I am gonna be, biased once more because bias is everything. I'm gonna go with the Unicorns, and I say this because I know one of their players, Drax. He used to coach me a lot. I'm not sure his rank team. I haven't played with him in a bit, but definitely looking forward to seeing him play some games this season because you got to go with who coaches you, right?
I mean, you don't have to, but it's probably wise if you want any more coaching sessions. Definitely
Yeah, there you go.
to go with somebody that has actually helped you and coached you and helped you get
As
up
long as
to.
there's no money coming out of my pocket.
Yeah, well, even still. um, Question for both of you: out of all of the players that are in Expert, because I know you guys are taking a look at the website, which FDL.gg, by the way, for anybody that would like to see the teams and players. Who do you believe will be the X factor for league play this season?
Toby, I'll let you go with that one first.
The X Factor. Hmm.
X
That's
factor.
that's a good that's a good question.
Get it. The X factor for expert. Okay. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
I'll see myself out now.
I see what you're doing there. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Um, I mean, we could go with classics who've been around forever, or we could go with someone new. I think Patty's a 13 too, but I always thought Patty played above his salary. He gets a little freaky out there with what he does, and sometimes he gets himself in trouble. But I've always liked Patty as a good player. I guess it's it's Ash now. Sorry.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
and then of
Act
course
beat 420.
Yeah, you and as always, you got to go with Medler. I mean, Medler just wins championships.
That is definitely true. Somehow, some way, Medler always finds himself in a really good championship position. How about you, Siprak?
I'm gonna have to go with Reaper on this one, the captain for the expert Seagulls. Um, Not necessarily his playstyle, himself, but for the fact that the Seagulls are playing with each other every day, that's a scary combo because most teams aren't. Uh, no shade towards anybody, but I'll say it. Most teams aren't as committed as that, and for the Seagulls to be putting that work in, that's scary.
Um, so I don't know how to call this one, but I'm going to let you guys go first. Who takes it? Who takes Expert League?
Oof, decisions.
It's just a preliminary guess. I'm not going to hold it to you. I'm not going to come back at the end of the season and be like, "Hey, remember what you guys said in the preseason of FDL Central? Hey, guess what?"
You know what? I'm gonna say the Colts are gonna take it. All right, Maleficent's gonna do it all by himself because Harmonic. You don't have a team, Harmonic.
Well, he still has a couple days to be able to get himself a team.
I'm
Because
gonna
We don't want to start out
double.
with FFs.
well, yeah, absolutely.
I'm um I'm gonna I'm gonna double down on this tomfoolery. I'm gonna go with the Huskies, just because Miller is he has failed to get his team fully together. So I'm gonna go with the Huskies taking it this season.
All right, all right. I like that. That's pretty good. I unfortunately now the host has to be biased because it's my team. I can't just say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go with these guys. The heck with my team. They can. Good luck. Um, I think the Hydras are going to be able to get back to the championship. Hopefully, they are able to pull it out this time, and we don't throw as what may have happened last season, what may not have happened last season. We won't go too far into detail, but the Coyotes and Hydras were in the championship, and the Coyotes did end up taking it. So it definitely going to be an interesting season at Expert, but we are going to move on to probably the most interesting league that is in FDL right now. We have a 16-team Star League, making Season 5 Star League's largest season yet. A lot of players from Expert ended up ranking out into Star. So there are a lot of great and amazing players. For you guys, I know you guys, Tubby, you were not here much of last season. And Siprock, with this being your first season, there's a lot of names that are out there. Who to you guys would present the wow factor?
The wow
Um,
factor.
I'm gonna come out of left field with this one. And this one is actually, I promise, no bias on this one. I'm gonna go with the Griffins. Um, I pulled, like I said, with the higher leagues, I pulled at random with the captain, and I had somebody DMing me. He DM'd me 2 days in a row asking to be a captain. I got nowhere else to go. I need somebody get on the team. He somehow pulled the most cracked player in Star League, Tunloink, and a team around those two. So I think the Griffins have a good chance this season.
I like how you shouted out our very own Tunloink, who who I believe definitely does have that. Who just him personally has that big wow factor. That's like, okay, yeah, he plays a little bit here and there, just a little bit. Tunloink coming down from Elite League, which is where he was last season. But even still, an absolutely incredible player. I've seen some of the stuff that he can do, and it just boggles my mind what you can do with a flat card.
Only if we
Tubby,
could be
what
as
about?
good as Tunloink.
I think I'm a dip my toe in and do a little twofer right here. and I'm gonna go with the two players who were in the championship last season. That would be Senior Shade, and of course of the Hydras, and of course the Dragons with Leggy Puppy. There was a lot of beef going on there at the end of last season, and I think they'll be back. They'll both be back up there in the championship and the playoffs again this season. I honestly think I'll see a rematch between those two. That's how I feel it's gonna go, and I want to see it. I want the beef. Bring me all the beef.
Tubby trying to be like Wendy's here for a second, wondering where's the beef. Senior Shea, definitely a very solid player. Does not matter what anybody else says. Probably one of the most solid 16-4s that I have ever seen, because I'm nowhere near that, but that's just me. I'll never be up there. And Laggy Puppy making a second season, this time with the Dragons, though. Last season it was with the Owls. Laggy following Maki with the Dragons. So yeah, definitely gonna be a very interesting season for Star League.
Oh, can I get one more bonus in here?
Absolutely.
I want to give a shout out to the reunition of Expert League Gators from Season 2. We have Stoobs and we've got Robot back on the team again. Last time they were together, championship. Let's see how it happens this time.
Definitely big ups to Robot Man, who literally grinded his way up into Star. So definitely big ups to him. Which that's actually who I'm gonna give the big wow factor to, because Robot will surprise. I have played against this man before, not in an actual league game, but in a warm-up session. And what he does with a Fennec, it is literally the definition of Fennec moments. I don't know what else to say about it. And plus, Robot and Stoobs on the same team is a very deadly combination, especially with Stoobs' attacking style. So
Stoobs don't miss.
Definitely gonna be a team to watch out for. But for you guys, based off of all the players' salary, obviously we're looking at this on paper. Once we get into the regular season, we'll be able to have more information. But on paper, who is going to be the toughest challenge in Star League?
I'll take this answer first. So this is my first season. So I don't know too much, but I was lucky enough to catch at least the championship matches last season, and I did see the Star League matchup between Dragons and it may not have been Dragons.
I believe between the Owls and the Hydras was the championship last season.
And Laggy Puppy was playing for the Owls, wasn't he?
Correct.
Okay, that's what I remember his name from. I knew I remembered this from somewhere. I think Laggy Puppy's going to come in this league or into this season, and I think he's going to scare a lot of teams. There's a lot of determination after you lose, or after you get that close to winning something, and then it just falls apart. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Laggy Puppy plays this season, and I really think people are going to be scared of him.
So the Dragons, you think, are going to be the toughest challenge in Star?
I think the Dragons are coming at it with Star League. Yeah.
Okay, Tubby, what about you?
I'm gonna give it to the Unicorns here. We got Yeti coming up into the league, being the middle Sal. He played really well. We saw him struggle a little bit in the end of last season in the championship, but he really turned it on in the last two games. We've got Miracle there at a 16-7, or Murticle there at a 16-7, and Knock filling out the bottom. I mean, that's just a solid team all around. I feel like they'll really put up a challenge against everybody else. And then I'm going to go with the Penguins as well, because they've got a bunch of classics here. We got Michael, we got Doomster, and we got Latraptavius as well. Been around for a long time. They're veterans of the league, so I look for them to really put up a good fight in there.
For me, as much as I appreciate the heck out of Shade, I appreciate the heck out of Light, but I think a team to really look out for is honestly who was going to be on the show, and that's the Rams. J-Dubs, Water, Django, and Rolo. They seem to be, on paper, they seem to be a very solid squad. So definitely watch out for those guys, because J-Dub's a very consistent player. He's been very consistent in the league. Been here since the beginning as well, and where he came from to where he is now is just two completely different people. So definitely watch out for the Rams. Colts may also end up surprising. Chris P on that team is just an absolute menace to anybody else that's on the field. And they also have Harmonic and Gup, who could really present a serious threat as that second and third man. So definitely those two teams are ones to watch out for. Now, Tubby and Siprock, we come to this is my favorite part is when we start talking about this next league, and that is going to be Elite League. And I had a little something here, and I'm going to say everything that's on it and read it verbatim. So, since its inception, the Elite League has given us the best of the best that FDL has to offer. A lot of new faces to the Elite League, but a lot of familiar faces returning as well. The big questions for Elite League are as follows. Can Adocad finally get himself a title as a reserve? Can Moifin handle being a starter? Biggest question is going to be, can Chris with a K make it back to playoffs and pass round one? Gentlemen, we have 8 teams for this one. Who makes the big time plays?
I'm from paper from the past. I'm definitely not going with the monkeys. Chris is his RNG is not the best for the championship or for the playoffs. So sorry, Chris, but definitely not going down that. That's a rugged path to go down. If you get on that path, you're hoping for somebody to completely roast you. I'm gonna give it to the Owls. I like the lineup in Folly and Prosperity. I think that team can go far. It looks like they still have room for 2 more players, maybe, if I don't read incorrect. I'm not sure. Maybe 1 more player, I'm not sure. But I do like the lineup for the Owls and how that's looking right now.
What about you?
Not only did you insult Chris with the K, but then you gave the championship to Prosperity 2K, the biggest rivalry in Elite League. Chris with a K versus Prosperity 2K. Couldn't win a game against him. My gosh, Chris got to be fuming right now. For me personally, I'm looking at the Huskies as usual. Usually bring a great Elite League team. I like that Adocad jumped on that bandwagon. He was like, they were in the championship every year. So, I mean, they got to win it sometime. But, I like the Gators too. Moifin, he might have been in the shadows, but he's always been a good player. And Twan, I think, can pop up and surprise some people. So those would definitely be 2 of my picks.
Yeah, I can feel that. Also, I didn't put that other dig in with the Chris for Chris. I apologize, Chris, on Siprock's behalf. It's fine. I had my own little dig but mine was actually funny because we've talked about it. I just want to throw that out there so that I don't end up getting in trouble or get canceled. But in all seriousness, for me, I think the Huskies are going to be a serious team to watch. Lottie Lettuce is just when it was him and Tater on that team, they just absolutely destroyed. Last season, they ended up going 12-0, and only lost, I believe, 3 games. And unfortunately, they did end up dropping the championship game to the Colts. But I think this might be. All right, Siprock, I'm going to make a bold. Siprock and Tubby, I'm going to make a bold prediction.
Oh no.
Okay? This is the bold prediction. I think Chris with a K makes it past round 1.
Don't do it to yourself, JJ.
I think you're canceled.
I really think. Well, the only reason why I say that is because he does have a very solid second. He had a very solid second with Drew's Clues last season. Drew's Clues not making an appearance this season, it looks like. But he has Sciosis. otherwise known as Cryptic, on his team. So it's going to be very interesting. I do know that those two bounce off of each other very well, and I don't know if a lot of teams are going to be able to keep up with their speed. However, still remains to be seen. I would like to see the Monkeys get past round one of the playoffs, though. And I know that's a very early and a very bold prediction, but I really think that Chris deserves a win here.
Yeah, he's definitely been through a lot of struggles in FDL. So to see him win, it would be very nice. And I did actually play with Skyosis the other day. So yeah, hopefully we can see him excel and we'll see if he can get Chris past round one. Maybe to the championship.
Tubby, do you have anything else to say about the Elite League?
It's Chris with the K curse, all right? He gets to round one every time, but he doesn't make it past, you know?
Well, we are all in agreement on that one. But now, guys, it's everybody's favorite time of the night. We're gonna get into predictions. Yay! Come on, give it to me. Come on, yay! Okay. So much energy coming from you two. It is perfectly fine. So we are gonna run through these really quickly. Week 1 starts this weekend. Well, actually, technically, it's already started, but they streamed games start this weekend. We are going to start from Origin and work our way up to Elite. What we're going to do is I am going to say the two teams that are playing. I'm going to call on one of you. You're going to give me a one-word answer as to who you believe is going to take the game, and then we're just going to keep moving on. Sound good to everybody?
Sounds good.
Tubby, are you ready? All right, here we go. First and foremost, we have the Huskies versus the Vipers. Siprock.
Huskies.
Tubby.
Huskies.
I'm going to be that guy, and I'm going to pick the Vipers. Next, we got the Monkeys versus the Griffins. Tubby.
I'm going to go with the Griffins.
Siprock.
Can't go against my team, Griffins.
I'm going to also have to say the Griffins as well, but I would not be surprised if the Monkeys come back and kind of surprise everybody. Last and certainly not least, we've got the Eagles taking on the Seagulls. Siprock.
I'm going to go Seagulls.
Tubby?
I'm going to go the end of that word, the Eagles.
Very clever. I like what you did there. I'm also going to go with the Eagles. I've been seeing those guys play together a lot. Moving on to Adept League, we are starting with the Coyotes versus the Colts. Tubby.
Adept League?
Yes.
Give me a second. Colts.
Siprock.
Colts on this one.
I'm going to say Coyotes. I think they're going to be able to do a little something. Gators versus the Hornets. Siprock.
Hornets.
Tubby.
We're going to go... Eating me my mocha to take a bite toe. We're going to go with the Gators. I love Ken, so I'm going to vote for Ken.
I'm also going to pick the Hornets. They need a win. Vipers versus the Monkeys. Let's go to Siprock.
I'm going to go the Monkeys.
Tubby.
I'm going to go with the Vipers.
I'm going to have to go with the Vipers as well and Tubby, I know the reason why you did it is because that team of Rico and Sticks is just it's hateful to play against.
One, so.
Rams versus Huskies. Tubby. I already know where you're going.
Rams versus Huskies. This is a tough one. I'm going to go. I guess I'm going to have to go with the Huskies. No real reason.
Siprock.
I'm going to go Rams.
I'm also going to go Huskies. It should be very interesting to say the least. Dragons versus Griffins. Siprock.
I got to go Griffins on this one.
If you go against your own team, it doesn't look very good.
Yeah.
Tubby.
Well, he went against my team, so I'm against his team.
Tubby's going to take the Dragons, and I am going to have to take I'm going to take the Griffins on this one. Should be very interesting, especially with a couple new people in there. Owls versus the Eagles. Tubby.
Owls versus Eagles. Well, Owls lost their. This is an interesting one. I think I'll go with the Eagles here.
Actually, this is just to throw this out there. This is a semifinal rematch
Mm-hmm.
from last season.
We gotta get love to the 007 out there. So.
Siprock.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to double down on what he said. I'm gonna have to go with the Eagles.
I'm also going to have to go with the Eagles as well because they look like such a solid squad in their preseason
Apologize to the
match.
Eagles, man.
So
We've cursed them.
yeah, well, you never know. The desk has been right on a couple things multiple times. Moving on, we've got the Penguins taking on the Seagulls. Siprock.
Ooh, decisions. I'm gonna go Penguins.
Tubby.
I'm gonna go with the Seagulls.
I'm going to go with the Penguins because Scooteroo definitely needs a better start this season than last season. He had a little bit of a rough run. Last but certainly not least, Hydras versus the Unicorns. Tubby.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with the Hydras.
Siprock.
I'm gonna have to take the Unicorns on this one.
And I am going to have to take the Hydras, especially with the trade that happened. And in case you don't know about it, I'm not going to give any spoilers to it. You'll just have to wait and watch. Moving on into Expert League, we have the Colts taking on the Hornets. Siprock, I'm going to start with you. What do you think?
With the Hornets. They have a full team.
Tell me, what are you thinking?
I think that the Colts have a really great chance in this match. I'm gonna go with the Colts here.
Oh,
Come on, pick up players.
That one hurts. It's a bit of a tough one for me, but I'm going to have to go with the Hornets. Yeah, definitely going to go with the Hornets.
Oh, you guys are non-believers.
Coyotes versus the Monkeys, Tubby.
Alrighty. We've got the Coyotes versus the Monkeys. I'm gonna go with the Monkeys. Stick with the old. They play together enough where I think that they'll have chemistry no matter what, even if this is the first game of the season.
Cipro.
Go with the Coyotes.
And I am going to pick the Monkeys as well. Huskies versus Vipers. Tubby.
I'm gonna probably go against what you're gonna think here. I'm gonna choose the Vipers.
Siprock.
I go with the Vipers. Just Miller Ball's not cutting it.
I love your reasoning, but I'm also going to go with the Vipers. I think the Huskies expert team might have a struggle this season. Dragons versus the Hydras. Siprock.
Oof. I'm gonna have to go with the Dragons.
Tubby. Can you repeat that for us?
The Dragons.
There it is. And I can't go against my team. I'm going to have to pick the Hydras. We're just going to move on from there. Eagles versus the Seagulls. Tubby.
We got the Gulls again. I'm gonna go with the Seagulls.
Okay. Siprock.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
And I, too, am going to go with the Eagles. Unicorns versus Penguins. Last game of Expert that it will be happening. Let's start with me. I'm going to pick the Penguins. Siprock.
Oh, I'm gonna go with the Unicorns.
And Tubby.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go with the Unicorns here.
Okay, I am alone here on the desk. Feeling lonely. I'm so alone. Moving on to Star League, we have a good number of games that are happening. First and foremost, we've got the Colts taking on the Coyotes. Let's start here with Tubby.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the. I'm gonna take it the Coyotes.
Ziprock?
I'm gonna go with the Colts.
This one's hard for me, but I think I'm going to go with the Colts. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Colts and stick with that one. Gators versus Hornets, Ziprock.
Oof. I'm gonna have to take sides with Robot on this one. Gators.
Tubby?
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna switch it up here. I'm gonna go with Stoobs on this one. I'm gonna take the Gators.
I'm going to get thrown out of this out of everything. I'm going to pick the Hornets. Rams versus Huskies, Tubby.
You know what? I'm gonna throw a curveball in here. And I'm gonna choose the Huskies.
Oh, such a curveball in that one. Ziprock.
I'm gonna go with the Huskies as well.
I'm going to pick the Rams. Just because I want to be that guy, and I love J Dubs. Monkeys versus Vipers, Ziprock.
If J Dubs runs an Octane, or not, if J Dubs runs the Scarab, then I pick the Rams. All right.
I'm gonna take the Vipers.
Tubby?
All right. Sorry, what teams again? I forgot.
Monkeys versus Vipers.
Monkeys versus Vipers. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with the Vipers as well here.
And just because I like being different, I'm going to go with the Monkeys. No particular reason. Just, just monkeys. Hydras versus Unicorns. Tubby.
Alrighty. Hydras versus Unicorns. Alrighty. I think I'm gonna go with the Hydras.
Ziprock.
I'm gonna go with the Unicorns.
Of course, you would. You would. You would. Only you would. I'm going to go with the Hydras. Senior Shade has never let me down. Owls versus Eagles. Ziprock.
Owls versus the Eagles.
Yep.
Oof. I'm gonna go with the Owls.
Tubby?
Yeah, I can't go against Mr. Good Morning, alright? I gotta go Eagles.
I am also going to go with the Eagles as well. Penguins versus Seagulls. Tubby.
Penguins versus Seagulls. Alright, I'm gonna go with the Penguins here.
Ziprock?
I got the Seagulls taking this one.
Okay. All right. I'm actually gonna have to give that one to the Seagulls. With Toucan. Last and certainly not least, the Dragons versus the Griffins. Ziprock, I'm gonna start with you because I already know where your prediction is going.
Oof. Is there a tie? I'm gonna go Dragons actually.
Throw a curveball at me. Never a good thing. I just got hit in the face. Thank you. Tubby, who do you got in this one?
I'm gonna have to go with Dragons.
One more time.
Dragons?
There we go. I'm actually going to go for your team, Ziprock. I'm gonna pick the Griffins on this one.
Thank you. You make me feel a little bit better, man.
Yeah, not a problem. I figured I'd have to make you feel better about yourself a little bit. All right, last and not least, we have the top of FDL. We have the Elite League. Should be some interesting games in this one. First and foremost, Colts versus the Gators. Ziprock.
I'm gonna go with Gators.
Tubby?
Gators.
I'm gonna also go with the Gators. Just because nom nom. Huskies versus the Monkeys. Tubby.
Huskies.
Ziprock.
Huskies as well, man.
I'm gonna hate myself because I did it last season, but I'm gonna go with the Monkeys.
Well, you're really tying yourself to the wrong tree here, right?
I know I am, but I have a lot of faith in people. Eagles taking on the Griffins. Ziprock.
I'm gonna go with the Griffins.
I had a feeling. Tubby.
Is it correct that the Griffins still only have one player?
No, we have a full squad. They're just not
Okay.
signed for some reason.
All right. It was Eagles Griffins, right?
Yes.
Eagles.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Eagles. Just Tuck and Thunder, two new names to the league. I don't know if anybody is prepared for what they have to offer. But last and certainly not least, we have the Elite Hydras taking on the Owls. Let's see. We'll start with Tubby.
Might just be a salary full here, but I'm not betting against someone who's a 19-8. I'm taking the Hydras.
I like it. Siprock.
I'm gonna go with the Owls on this one.
And I am going to take the Hydras because it just makes me feel better about myself. Definitely a lot of back and forth. Not too many teams got all three votes here on the desk, but that is going to do it for this week's preseason episode of FDL Central. Make sure to tune in this weekend to take in some FDL action, hopefully starting at 8 p.m., hopefully Friday. I do want to take this time and thank my guests, Siprock and Tubby Boy, for taking some time out of their day to join me here on the desk. So thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Happy to be here, KJ.
I could definitely tell. Definitely have to give a special shout out to our streamer for tonight, Robot Man, for always having my back when it comes to putting this show on. We hope to see you guys Friday for the official start of Season 5. Make sure to tune in next Wednesday at 6 p.m. again to get all caught up on any of the action that you may have missed over the weekend. And from all of us here at FDL Central, we thank you and have a good night.
All I wanna do is to put my arms around you and watch these moments fall back into place. All I wanna do is to make you stop and love me. How can I be blue when you catch me in these feelings like okay. I love you, I do need you, I do love you, I do need you. I love you, I do need you. I love you, I do need you. I love you, I do need you, I do love you, I do need you. I love you, I do need you. I love you, I do need you.